Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 28 of D.VA, my podcast. My name is Bull Skunk, alongside Knight Rider, Airborne, and Paul, here today to bring you all the action from the latest week and some Papega takes on every bit of it. Oh, hold on. My audio broke.
This is the first time me seeing your hair, so what did you do? Why did you go Shade King?
Me?
What-
It's blue. It's not going very well in the lighting, but it's like aqua blue. It's quite nice actually. The lighting isn't doing very well. But also, real quick, Volsco introduced me as Airborne.
Oh, yeah.
One, Airborne isn't here, and two, you didn't list my name.
So that right there, that's
That's
that
indicative.
Just showed you guys how tired we are.
That's indicative of the show. I'm sorry, oh shit.
This is D.VA my podcast on zero sleep.
D.Va ate all my energy.
Yeah,
Changed
she gobbled it all up. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we are exhausted right now. Besides us wanting to actually, play games ourselves, streaming, casting, just life in general. We are pretty spent right now, guys. Not gonna lie.
Hey, it's all right. We're here. We're gonna do the thing. Probably won't get a 2-hour episode out for you today,
yeah.
friends, but we're
yeah.
still here to share our Papega opinions, whether they're a little fatigued or not.
Yeah, so if you guys can't tell by the title of this episode, it is Dallas Oof.
Yeah.
Smile.
So technically, Dallas Oof kind of falls under OWL review. So this past week, Bullskunk, your team, they are no longer the team in Texas.
Yeah, they're struggling a bit. I don't want to hear it. Y'all lost with the Justice. So come back to me. Come back to me when you beat them.
Wait. Didn't you guys lose to, like, Vancouver?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
Wait,
don't think I have a question.
didn't you guys lose to, like, Dallas?
We
Haven't
did
we
lose
lost
to Dallas.
We.
Wait,
I'm
hang
pretty
on.
sure
Give me a second. Are the Dolls Steel even a team anymore?
Damn right
Yeah.
they're a team.
What was the last time?
Well, they
Houston
got a
actually
logo.
beat
That's about
Dallas?
it.
Have we ever
That's all
beat
that's
Dallas?
showing up.
Houston? Not since
Yeah.
season 1.
Good God, I was afraid you'd say that or never.
I know.
I
It's
mean,
it's so awful.
But I would like to ask a question. So we've been talking about the Fuel in previous podcasts, and I assumed it was like a head coach or like a coaching problem, why they were misguided. Management is what it's looking to be. Let's be real. Also, my camera died. I can see it on the stream.
It's all right. I
So
got you covered.
That's an awesome.
I got you covered.
That's an awesome picture for the TL if you want it.
Just had to
but-
refresh it.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Fuel because there was a certain statement that they made about Decay after he left, saying he was difficult to work with or something along those lines. And you're like, you said the exact same thing about Rascal.
Yeah. I had it opened up onto Arrow, but let's scroll down a bit. Oh. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
This is actually Hastro's response, but you get the original tweet in there as well. But both of these are actually kind of interesting. I mean, Hastro himself coming out and saying refuse to work with our staff, refuse to practice. I mean,
But
that's...
Tickety said that was untrue. Tickety literally said that was untrue later on.
Did he
I haven't seen
really?
Tickety.
I didn't
Yeah,
catch
he
that.
did.
Tickety
Yeah,
basically
he went
said he was
back on that.
lying. Oh, he went back on it?
Yeah, the problem is the fact that in the first place you have your coach saying it's time for us to move on and quote give our players their best shot, as if Decay wasn't part of them, and it's not. It's easy for somebody, and I'm not making this accusation because I don't have enough knowledge, but like it's easy for someone to read between the lines and go, wait a second, us and him, is this
Immediately, yeah.
with their history of Korean players? It's like, wait a second, he's just a talent mercenary that comes in. He's not part of your players. Excuse me. So, to Ocean's point, management has to really start figuring things out.
I mean,
Jane-
it's not only Korean players though. I want to chip in here because
it is also not only Korean
I'm
players. I
listing
did
two
see
more. I'm listing two more.
Jane
like-
wanted to do something like, I guess he's involved with them again, but then he was saying he wants to criticize them on a media thing, but wanting to get their permission. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's not like the ship was totally right when you were in charge of it anyway. So
Oh, I mean, he knows that. I mean, that's James just does
I think he
content
does.
creation for Envy. But there's a reason Jaden didn't go back into coaching. That was also back when Dallas was trying to do a coach for each role,
which is silly.
yeah, I mean,
At the
ambitious.
time, it was worth trying.
It was worth trying.
I think it was an experiment worth trying. I will give it that, like, inherently, it's not totally flawed in the same way like the NFL has a coach for every position. Like, it was worth the shot, but I can understand why it didn't work out.
Well,
Yeah,
for one, goats happened.
True.
Right. Yeah, that kind of got rid of the way the team structure was thought to, play itself out.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, here's your DPS coach. By the way, DPS are not going to be playing for about 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to mention Seagull, and I was also going to mention Custa.
That I still stand by. Getting rid of Custa was the worst thing Dallas ever did.
Yeah, no, but have you not seen? There was a clip from Overwatch League Season 1 where they played the Fuel's comms on broadcast, and they literally sounded like a bad Open Division team, like a bunch of goal players running around, just by the sounds. Of course, they were playing not like that, but I mean, it felt like it at points. But they played it the next week, and the only two people that calmed for them were Rascal and Custa, and the next 2 weeks they were gone.
Yeah. I mean, Custa was their shot caller.
Custa was their shot caller,
Straight up. And then went on to shot call for Valiant and did a damn good job of it.
Yeah, but he never praises the Fuel organization, does he? He praises the Valiant.
Oh, no. If you saw, Custa was on Tip of the Hats. I don't know if you know Tip of the Hat. It's a charity stream that happens one weekend out of the year. Yeah. Jake was on there as well as Brennan's Sideshow, I believe. But Custa straight up said during that everything about Dallas Fuel was pure shit show. I mean, he was just completely unadulterated. Yeah, I mean, just uncensored at completely not. I mean, just like, nope, that was a total shit show.
For a while, their most popular social media post was Custa getting flamed by his own organization for accidentally ulting.
For accidentally ulting?
Yeah, it happened twice in one series, and they just flamed him for it, like his own organization's Twitter.
That's funny.
I always loved Custa. I mean, like, that made me root for Valiant when he went to LA.
And I'm gonna mention Seagull, because Seagull mentioned that he really struggled with the Fuel. He was never really given any attention or a chance until stage 4. And then he also mentioned how much weight he gained when he was grinding that hard, which again, that's gonna lead into another conversation we have later on. But
healthy practices have to be a part of this, and that comes from the top down.
Yeah, but
it's weird that they took the initial spokesperson of the game, Seagull, and it basically forced him out of the league that was made around people like him.
Yeah.
Like if that's where you started and this is where you're ending, your problems are absolutely at the top somewhere. You can't just always keep blaming these players.
And Seagull was one of the most beloved players, not just on the team, but in Overwatch League as a whole.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
He still
Let me
is.
ask you guys this. Where's the direction of Dallas going to be going now?
I mean,
the house.
Obviously, they can't pick up anybody.
let us not forget that it wasn't 2 weeks ago that Hastro resigned as CEO. Don't forget that fact.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, I don't actually know if I knew that. Yeah, I think they have to just clean house, get new. Well, obviously, they'll have to get a new CEO in, get a new GM, get new managers. They're clearly trying out new coaches, which I really like. I think you just
Actually, I like their head coach decision. Axel and Mr. Coach, who came with Doha. So you got to build that team around Doha now.
Yeah.
And it's weird to build a team around like a flex DPS player who, usually you think build around these like massive, damage building DPS, like build it around like a striker or someone. But no, build it around Doha. That's what Shanghai did with Fleta. They sort of built their core around like Fleta and Void, Lee Jae-gon. That's what they kind of build around. You can definitely see that in their play. So build around Doha. That's what you got to do. And Gomsu. Forgot about Gomsu.
I was going to say build around the tank line.
Yeah,
Holy cow! Build around that tank
really,
line.
Really good.
Yeah, it would be nice. That way. Who is it? Was it Gamsu on? Winston?
Gomsu.
Yeah, it's Gomsu and No. Gomsu's your Winston and your Ball, your Arisa.
Yeah.
No is totally underrated.
I agree
He
130%.
He definitely is.
He is. He absolutely is. I mean, this is an ongoing argument between me and Ocean. Because I'm a huge Note supporter. And I have been from day one.
But of
I'm gonna
course, you're
disagree
wrong,
with you
though.
again. I'm
I-
gonna disagree with you again.
I understand. I'm not surprised.
Look at
I'm
their
not at all
roster
shocked.
now. They still have AKM and Unko hidden on there. Like,
Bro,
Is
they'd
that still
probably
a
be
thing?
like, yeah, somehow they're still on that roster.
Yeah, how are they
That
still on the
played-
roster? How has AKM
they-
not gone to Valorant?
Yeah, doesn't make sense at all. It does. It just doesn't. What's going on?
yeah, AKM should go to Valorant. He's the type of like hit scan player that like
You'd
it's
think would do
time for
well.
a yeah, I think
Yeah.
he has a chance there. At least it doesn't seem like he's.
Uncle would work as well. I think like the Rocket's decision going to Valorant, which we'll talk about in a second. Like Unco, I think is a similar player to Rockets, but just better mechanically.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
No, Uncle had great mechanics.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I've just never heard someone take that. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's a good take. I think his positioning was always a little questionable, but
Yeah, he
Uh,
was on that original Valiant team, which had like Envy as their off tank. It was just kind
Yeah.
of like they were all really, really mechanically good, but they were also a fucking mess.
but that was the trade, right? That was the Custa trade. Custa went to Valiant, and we got Unco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, I mean, both fairly skilled, but Custa had the shot calling. Unco had better killing mechanics. You know, Custa was essentially a mercy one trick at that point. So continuing down the news thread, because oops, that's not the right one. Although I'm glad I didn't put that live. But there is certainly more to this story. I clicked on the one that had I clicked on the guest screen. So
Yeah.
Decay gets released and basically insulted and totally shit on. Moments later, we get the news that Tickety has been released. One of the
Which makes
assistant
sense.
coaches.
Which makes sense that you released Tickety, because I mean, did they really do much? Like from our outside perspective, not really.
From the outside perspective, not really, but Tickety
Not really.
was absolutely Arrow's right-hand man. Like, Arrow relied on Tickety
Yeah.
to do his job. And I still stand by that Arrow's a fantastic coach. And honestly, I'll be surprised.
We talked about this before.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if Tickety doesn't follow Arrow in whatever he does. I thought it was really strange that they had just released Tickety. I was like, wow, that is a blatant scapegoat maneuver. Like, you know, you have to fire a coach, so you fire the one that no one's heard of. But I met both of them at OP Live, which was a collegiate event. And I mean, Tickety was literally like standing next to Arrow, like looking over his shoulder. Like they would kind of, he would like confer with him on things. I mean, you could tell. I mean, he was genuinely, when they say right hand man, I mean, this was quite literal. He stood over his right shoulder and was there every step of the way for anything Arrow needed. And I have no doubt that that was exactly how it operated within the organization. So that leads to the biggest bomb of them all, which is Arrow being released in this very official.
They did it the next day, though.
Exactly, they did it the next day, and it wasn't so. If we look at Tickety's statement, it's like the picture of Tickety humanizing him, a huge thank you, big fuel logo next to his head. Like this said, "Hey man, you were part of the team, but it's just time to part ways." And then you get the Times New Roman official update saying you just fired your fucking head coach.
So the interesting thing about the Arrow release, quote unquote, is very much like I broke up with him. No, they broke up with me thing, because his tweet, and I don't know if you see that, he said, quote, have decided to part ways with Dallas Fuel.
Yes.
So I don't know who you believe in, the he said, she said. Like it doesn't ultimately whatever.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas just released the K, or actually, because it's a day different. It's a day different. Maybe there actually was a day different in Tickety going and Arrow going.
Yeah,
Now, that would be a shock. Imagine they just sacked Tickety and Arrow's like, what the fuck, and left.
That's
honestly,
I think that's what happened.
I think that's what happened.
To guess. That's my guess. Well, we're gonna get rid of Tickety and see how Arrow does on his own. He's like, you got rid of what you want me to sink or swim based on what? All right, see ya.
That's what it looks like to me. That's why there was different day statement.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you really announced them both together leaving.
I think that is entirely possible, if not probable. that he was just like, look, if you're going to try to undermine me and get rid of everyone to make me, because basically what you're doing if you get rid of Tickety and keep Arrow is saying, well, let's see what you do. And if he's like, look, I'm not going to perform as well, you just want me to lose out so you look justified when you fire me at the end of the year, no thanks. Like, I'm not going to be part of your smear job.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit around and wait for the hammer to drop. Exactly, to try to make the org look better through what could potentially be very shit moves. And
yeah, he could sit back now, watch every org, meet a couple people, and go, "Hey, I'm ready at the end of the season when someone else."
Yeah, so we talked about this the other day. Now, we also talked about it last podcast. I was like, Arrow is pretty good head coach. He took the fuel out of pretty dismal times. So now we're kind of going back into those dismal times. One question mark, is it his fault? Maybe a little bit. But I feel like it took them as far as they could. They did look like at points that they just didn't have any guidance. You know, they seemed like a little like a series behind, or even a map behind at points. Other teams in like hero pools. So that's what I kind of think of when I come to Arrow's time with the fuel. Took them out of a deep pool. Was always like a week behind, but still did an okay job. And I feel like he could do a job somewhere else. And we kind of discussed Atlanta earlier on in the week.
I mean, I was watching some Plat chat from before this last weekend. They still have Dallas Fuel ranked number 5. They still have. So, I mean, there's a pretty big discrepancy. Obviously, this is before all of the news of the past few days. But there's obviously a big discrepancy between your top 4: San Francisco, Philly, Paris, and who am I forgetting? San Francisco, Philly, Paris, and Florida are just like undoubtedly your top 4. And there's kind of a gap between them and the rest of the NA division.
It's like them and everybody else.
And then, yes. But they still have Dallas on the top of that everybody else. And that's based on the team that Arrow has built. I mean, on paper, this is an outstanding team. Absolutely outstanding. And damn right, Gamsu. Gamsu is still, I mean, looking like one of the most polished main tanks in the league.
I mean, we know what Domsa could do leadership-wise.
Absolutely.
I mean, we just know. We know. Nothing else needs to be said on that.
And I think bringing Decay and Doha in, I mean, that's a head coach decision. That's a decision where we're going to bring in these two powerhouses and are arguably at times one of the best DPS duos in the league as far as how they enabled each other. Maybe not one individual best DPS player, but the way they enabled each other was amazing. I mean, you're putting the pieces together in an ideal way, and it's still not working. And I think...
I want to talk about... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, that seems like a head coach doing everything right and still not able to get dubs.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of alleviate on that point. I mean, you could tell that's a head coach decision to make that sort of DPS show. When you look at other teams and how they set up, Shock, they kind of go for their little trios or sometimes quadruple. Like, so you got like your DPS trio of Striker, Ons, and Rascal. Now you've got Teo in the mix, right? And now you've got your tank trio of Smurf, Chuyoben, and Super.
And the Genji player.
Yeah, I had that one. And then you got your Twilight, Moth, and...
Rascal?
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm just pulling your leg there. But yeah, no, Violet, Rascal, and Moth.
That's how Krusty likes to set his team up. That's also how it sort of set up at Boston. And and then you got Moon, who's always like having like lots of options, but your core starting 2 with this other option as your other DPS. Fled a Lip, you got DM, you got Ding, you got those options. Even Dia, technically Dia is still an option. You've got you've got your options again for tank. You got your starting mid tank. So like how he had on Valiant Fate, you have your starting off tank, which was Envy or Space. Then you had another option, like who was what's the fact fiction at the time? Get back to me. Kooky.
Good memory. I couldn't have pulled that one out of my ass. Kooky. Like, when's the last time you heard that name?
When he was coaching the Florida Mayhem this season.
Oh, okay. So, sorry, I don't pay attention to Florida's coaches, apparently.
he speaks really good English as well.
Nice. Hey, apparently I need to pay more attention to coaches. Maybe that's just a lesson for us all.
Speaking of which, we actually made a prediction on Hongshou Sparks coaching staff last week, which was pretty cool. But yeah, no, like you can see that they have little things they like to build. And Arrow did have a similarly built DPS line in Who Are You and Zachary on Fusion University. So that definitely makes sense. That point of he definitely built that sort of DPS line on how he wanted it.
Knight Rider, you greedy bastard. Houston doesn't need Decay. They have Dante. Like, seriously, talk about redundant.
I know, but can you imagine Dante and Decay?
Only if you can put 2 Tracers in at the same time.
Bro, that'd be awesome.
Tracer Sombra, just pick Tracer Sombra. Just do what the fusion do.
Yeah, you can Tracer Sombra. Especially as the new meta starts to come out. But
So, let's actually get into the review.
Yeah.
Because we are limited on time today, because I know some of us want to go and sleep. So.
Also, as we're going into review, I was already looking that we can build out our brackets for this weekend, so I highly recommend we actually build these out and save them.
Yeah.
For next week.
Oh God, how are we gonna do that?
When does Counter Cup start?
for Friday?
Weekend.
Yeah.
Friday. Okay.
So I know I jumped ahead. We got review first, but that's something to get excited about. That we'll actually be able to
Oh,
build
I want to do
and give you a
my
build-out.
review. Shanghai 3-0, Shanghai 3-0, Shanghai 3-0. Sorry.
Until they lose to
That's it.
Guangzhou.
No, we won't lose to Guangzhou.
We'll
Although
see.
I said that last time.
Yeah,
I
you
said
said.
that
I
last
must say, didn't you say that in Summer Showdown?
Yeah.
But that team is 3 losses technically all season, and they also just beat Guangzhou in the what do we call that Chinese tournament that's going on right now, where Team CC is about to batter OT Blast and surprise everyone.
The next cup.
Next cup, thank you. Or it's technically NAXT because
Oh,
Lynn
yeah,
Takai
yeah.
played Miraculous Youngsters in that tournament ages ago.
We're gonna
Oh
we're
my-
gonna kind of run through this. Minimal details there, okay? There, Ocean.
What?
You get. I'm gonna.
So
You
you
know
gotta
what?
pick
I'm
and
gonna do
choose.
this. I'll do this. You get to pick 3 games to review.
Shanghai MXL, Guangzhou Seoul, so I can shit on Wizard Chong a bit more, and we'll go with Washington Houston.
I
I
like it.
fucking hate you. I hate you.
Hey, that's a good lineup, though. I want
Wait
to
a
hear
minute.
all
Wait a
those
minute.
other
Wait a
sides.
minute. Washington Houston didn't play this week. That was last week.
Oh shit! I just wanted to shit on Houston.
Okay, how about San Francisco, Houston?
I would say you really.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I mean, do you really? That's the one you're gonna pick?
No.
Why not Vancouver and
Toronto,
Boston and
Vancouver,
Vancouver
Toronto,
getting a win?
Vancouver. Toronto, Vancouver.
Ooh, that's a
Okay,
good one.
all right. So Dallas takes the big goose egg to Philly.
Yeah.
That's a nice 3-0 there.
Anticipated.
No carpet
LA
in that matchup,
nope,
actually.
Nope, you got your 3. Picked your 3 games.
There was no carpet. It was Houston Ivy. That's a good point.
LA Valiant beat down Houston 3-2.
I'm surprised Houston even won 2 there.
Yeah.
Hey man. I know.
Can Jackson repel carry? No. If not,
No.
Houston lose.
No.
Can they carry? Yes. If so, can Meko do his job? If no, they'd lose.
I mean, play Dante for it.
Pretty much.
Play Dante for him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why
no,
aren't you
but-
playing Dante?
That's silly.
I was just making a point.
All right. Ocean, go nuts. Charge and Soul Dynasty.
I mean, this is.
You know what?
I rank
This
this as
is
like the
just
top
silly.
seed and the bottom seed in APAC, personally.
Oh no, Guangzhou have been a little bit inconsistent recently-ish. As shown by the fact they lost the map. But Soul Dynasty is trying to give this Super Genji something to work with. They put Prophet on Zarya, which Prophet, yes, is a very, very good Zarya. However, he is your only DPS player capable of killing things. So, yeah, Wizard Young strikes again.
Did they really put Prophet on Zarya?
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch that one. I've literally worked every single day since our last podcast. So
yeah, no,
it's-
Wizard Young striking again with his big brain moves, and Soul Dynasty like, yeah, we'll give you a fun paycheck.
Wow.
Next game, Spark beat down Spitfire 3-0.
Interesting. Actually seeing signs of life from Spark again.
I know.
Yeah.
They're sparking.
Ooh,
Yeah, but I don't think they'll catch fire. But don't.
But well, that's because there's no fuel.
Hey-oh.
Oh.
Applause. Slow clap.
yeah.
Slow clap.
Oh.
Could you not just say that they have the Architect of Destruction, though?
Ah.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Oh,
All
sorry,
right.
I don't know what happened there.
Uh,
We got a few dad jokes. That's what we did.
Yeah,
That's what we did. Shanghai
Oh,
takes
yes.
it to NYXL. Nice 3-1 win there. All right, go ahead. Go ahead there, Ocean.
Right, okay, so
Right on.
Shanghai Dragons for NYXL was kind of actually one side of the fair. However, NYXL on Route 66 took them up due to some, interesting takes on the meta. Now, Shanghai, they subbed in Stan 1. Now, Stan 1 is an Arista, he is an Arista player, right? So NYXL knew they're going to play that Arista Sigma double shield. They didn't really have any different alleyways to go for because Fearless is their Winston player. Fearless is more flexible, so they're like, you know what? Winston's Zarya counters the double shield competition. We know this because of Dive versus double shield stats in Chinese contenders and in other regions in Overwatch League in the past. So Dive counters double shield. So we're going to go for Zarya Winston competition, and we're going to beat Shanghai on Raid 66, and then they're going to sub in Fearless and beat us then.
I think it's very map
Interesting.
dependent. I don't think it's true to just flat out say dive beats double shield.
It's on Raid 66, any map with high ground. There you go.
Yeah, it's on a few select maps. But I think it's worth that little asterisk. Just saying.
Yeah, point A on 66. Definitely, I would go down.
And B
into
as
that double
well.
shield.
A and B,
You go more-
sure.
And B. And A is
Yeah.
where they got that huge advantage. So
Yeah, I guess I would on B too. Yeah, I guess I would. C's a different ball game.
yeah, they can just switch to the rest of them, but like someone's sticking to that Arista for the entire game, and they get those little tiny advantages.
Yeah.
It's a map with high ground, so Dive's gonna have the advantage for most of the map.
No, you're
Anything
not
a
wrong.
little bit more-
I mean, this is theoretically.
Yeah, anything more linear is gonna be double shield based. So King's Row, Third Point Gibraltar. Of course, you still have the high grounds to work with on Third Point Gibraltar, so it's not like a clean cut. But anything more linear, where you're gonna be running the Brig Zen instead of the Brig Mercy, or not the Mercy Zen point that I brought up a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, anything more linear is gonna be the double shield for 100% of the time.
All right. Paris Eternal gets the 3-1 victory over Justice. And then Toronto Defiant gets 3-2 over Vancouver. Is this the
Surprising
score
that
you were
Vancouver
predicting? Was this the score you were predicting there, Ocean?
Just about, but I thought Vancouver would have actually win this series, to be honest. But
Ooh.
Toronto Defiant. I mean, I predicted Toronto last week, but I kind of had a little edge that Vancouver at least make it close. Vancouver looked pretty strong. Shredlock coming out of their difficult week, although I do think Shredlock is pretty talented. But yeah, Toronto, they had Roki and instead of Kareem, and that's why I picked this game, because Roki is a main support player, so they were running that Cruise and Roki, so that was definitely interesting to me. So that's why I kind of picked this match out, and I performed well, to be fair to Roki, so that's cool. We don't see too much Roki. Only other Korean player left in this roster apart from Kareev, so yeah, that was interesting. I think we saw some Beast as well, so a little bit of a different lineup from the Defiant there.
Okay. Next matchup. We're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
We all saw this coming. 3-0 San Fran over Houston.
Yeah, just getting Tayo more reps is really what that's all about. Getting Tayo more
Dude's
reps in the
a
Genji.
Absolute monster, and he's got the coolest fashion in the game. Like, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a
Atlanta.
legend.
Yeah, I can't argue that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think SMC should just change their name to Tayo's Money Crew. Like, let's just name all of our contenders teams after Tayo.
Yeah,
Right.
honestly, dude's just he's special. He's a special talent.
Angry Tayo.
Angry Tayo, exactly. You're on the right track. Samsung Morning Tayos, I mean, we can keep going.
to Tayo Blast.
Tayo Blast.
Tayo Hurricane.
The Tayo Hurricanes, perfect.
I mean, he's.
There's
he's
a
great.
hurricane coming through.
He's just great for the game. He in a time right
I
now for
remember
Owl.
watching him on Team Japan,
Yeah.
ages ago. I was like, he's their only good player. But yeah, was fantastic for Third Impact. So I mean, I'm excited to see that this
Yeah.
contender sort of system is being used properly in that sort of sense. We've got an absolute superstar in the making there.
That's where the joke comes from, Disero.
Yeah.
Comically large crosshairs. Actually, I believe
Crosshair.
3-0 now.
Yes.
Yes, they won.
They
To be,
win today?
they dropped Koth, but they won 3-1.
Yeah. So they did win
Yeah,
the series.
so comically large
Nope.
crosshairs 3-0 in trials right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Teo's the best news Al could have gotten in a season where everybody's leaving and everything's going wrong. They quite literally, as Ocean said,
I mean, there
have
has been a lot of rookies this year who have just popped off.
Yeah, they have but having a superstar is so different, right? Like it's
Yeah.
more than just a player; it's a personality. Like
I mean, yeah, there's also Alarm, Fielder, Lee Jae-gon. Like,
Yeah, but none of them have the
purple shades and a shirt like he does.
correct the kind of the face of the league, like very no. It's seriously though. I mean, very like photogenic, and where you can put it out
like-
there, and you're like, that dude's an Owl player.
Yeah, like James Harden's not the best player in the NBA, but you know that fucking beard anywhere. You know, like,
Correct.
yeah,
I
the
saw. Oh my
superstar-
gosh! I
superstar
cringed.
Shannon is bigger than.
I cringed. They did a face swap with somebody or something like that, but it was a beard swap. They took his beard off and gave it to like George Paul, and I was just like, "Stop!
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
Friggin'
Just
wild.
stop!" Like no, like leave the beard. Like I even seen a commercial where like he busted like a Kool-Aid Man move, and all you see is like the beard like embedded into the wall.
Nice.
All right, so moving on. We got Atlanta edging out Dallas.
Which I
should
didn't
pick this.
expect. I did not expect that at all. I thought Dallas would win this. Genuinely, I didn't genuinely expect them
Where's
to beat
Airborne to rub it in?
Philly, even with, you know, if even let me rephrase this, even if Dallas was at their top of their form and playing superb, I didn't expect them to beat Philly. I expected them to beat Atlanta, and now with all the news this week, it's kind of making sense. I mean, Dallas feels very much in disarray, as Ocean put it. I mean, if they looked lost, thought they looked lost before, they really looked lost this past weekend.
Yeah,
They just couldn't get their shit together.
I wish
at
I
all.
picked this next one actually, because I really do think the Gladiators, right? They look like actually like they could break into that top 4 teams on select maps. However, on anything apart from those sort of 4 maps, they are absolute poo poo. Like not gonna lie. So any maps where and control maps in particular, I mentioned Nepal. They're really really good at Nepal. And Ikeval, they're really really good at that in hybrid sense. However, like. That team, I've never seen a team that is map dependent like that ever.
They're just
And I might say that
inconsistent.
it's inconsistent, but I've never seen that before.
I love their tank line so much too. It hurts my feelings. It hurts my soul to see them lose.
Their support line though.
Agreed. Same. I love their support line too.
Big goose and shots.
OG in
Incredibly
space.
beautiful. No, it's actually OG in mirror technically.
All right. So
Fair.
LA takes a big fall to Philly. And then Vancouver gets a nice win over Boston.
Vancouver proving they're not the bottom of the league. 3-0.
That position is held for Houston.
No. As much as I'd like to rag on the
getting down
Outlaws,
there.
you're actually not worse than Boston. Really not worse than Washington. I think that was just a unfortunate meta situation. Just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Hydration just couldn't play without the Orisa. Like Hydration looks okay, or looks passable on the Orisa, but once they took that away from him, that was just a unfortunate circumstance for Houston. No, I don't. I think Houston is ranked above, is 4th from the bottom.
Yeah.
I'd go Boston, Washington, Toronto, then Houston.
Yeah.
Maybe Valiant.
Right,
Valiant fell off quick, didn't they? Like early on in the season, like halfway through the season, we were looking at going, KSP, KSF, these guys are popping. These guys can click heads.
Chat.
These guys can hard fucking carry.
Reamer, Lastro. Yeah, I could keep naming names.
True.
However, we kind of saw the Valiant sort of implode during the summer showdown. We saw Ply on break for whatever reason. We saw Gig come back into the lineup. And then we had actually, I never understood how this comment just got passed out. Your sideshow said that it's a typical Korean flex support problem on stream, and like that was just like passed by. I don't know why that was ever passed by. He definitely should have got a little bit more warning for that. But yeah, like ever since then, they have been on it. I think like an implosion might be on its way.
Well, I feel like the random substitutions you're talking about is more of a symptom of the problem. It was more of them trying
Yeah.
to stop the massive downward slope and just kind of throwing anything at the wall and leaving spaghetti everywhere. So poor Valiant. I traditionally really like that team, partly because of the custom conversation we had earlier. All right, well, that's
looks
like the
like
fastest owl review we've ever done.
I know. I think that's what we have to do. We just have to limit Ocean to like three games.
I feel like I'm partially to blame. I didn't get to watch as much as I would have liked.
So, Chef Billy, joining us via voice
Yeah.
only. Welcome. Billy's gonna come in and hop in here and help us with our predictions.
Woo!
Oh,
Right,
we want to talk about one little other thing about esports and sort of how you grind and how you work and how you set that sort of environment up. So, does anyone want to kick that sort of thing up? Because there was a tweet the other
so
thing, and I
you
was kind
guys-
of just thinking about this recently.
So that actually ties in. So you guys notice that we're all tired,
Yeah.
and we're running ourselves ragged. You guys need to set a limit for yourselves. Like obviously we're reaching our limit. We're pretty much at it right now. So I'm sure after this podcast I gotta go do like a scrim with my team. And I'm sure everybody else is probably not gonna stop either.
Nope.
Okay, but I mean it's very important. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated during your streaming and everything like that.
Speaking
Get
of, I'm getting the
sleep.
water.
People say that you
Fair enough.
need to do a 24-hour grind. You don't need to do a 24-hour grind. That's unhealthy. It's just unhealthy.
Yeah, we talked about this just before the stream, so it's a typical way to put this into words. But like, even like organizations will like, gotta grind this, give 24/7. If you want to be good, you gotta grind this. And like, no, get a schedule together, keep it together. That sort of stuff is important. I mean, I'm exhausted. I had a crazy do week. I mean, having like the old crazy weekend where you have a crazy grind and just do loads of activities, that's cool. But make sure that you rest up afterwards. That's super important. I mean, I had a big weekend running tryouts with Impulse, watching Impulse do well in Rocket League in front of 600 viewers, just a little flex. Of
No
course,
big deal.
also just 3 or 4 casts as well at the weekend. So yeah, make sure you rest up after you do these big, large events.
Yeah, and we're a couple other like I follow a lot of streamers, influencers, and casters too, and just like the idea where it's like this mythology that people build up that I'm just always grinding. If I'm not casting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and like if you're doing that, like bullshit, you're not. And if you are, you're not gonna be able to sustain it. And if you somehow do,
Yeah.
other parts of your life are gonna fall behind because you're obviously spending your time elsewhere. So like, all of us are
absolutely.
trying to grind to get in on things, but be reasonable. Take care of yourself first. If you're burning out more than you're finding success, it's gonna show. And like you, slow and steady grind. Keep at it, but be reasonable and take care of yourself first. And
Yeah, healthy balance is just so important.
people have different
Absolutely.
speeds. Like one person might put in like a whole bunch of time at once. Other people have to do a slower grind. Just go at your own pace.
Exactly. So that's our little TED talk for the day.
Yeah, that's our TED talk there.
So getting into this preview, we have a regional tournament countdown cup.
What are you talking
So
about?
we're gonna be making
Our predictions for
Can I
next
have
week?
Yeah, can I have a bracket?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we're gonna make our predictions, and then what we'll do is by Friday everybody will like submit a bracket and we'll post it up on our Twitter. So if you guys want to make sure you guys keep an eye out for that, and yeah, we'll see. We'll we might even make it a little bit interesting.
Are you saying you want to wager?
I'm getting at it. Yeah.
Are you saying that you want to wager?
Hang on,
like
hang on.
Really, man?
Knight
Really?
Rider. Knight Rider, you don't really have like a good reference for actually following up on your wagers. So
Ooh.
I haven't gone to it yet, man. Chill down.
it's been 3 months at least.
it has been some time.
Yes.
I follow up on my wagers. I can't wait for
So
2
we
weeks'
have
time.
Atlanta Reign and Vancouver Titans. We got LA Valiant Houston Outlaws, Dallas Fuel, Washington Justice, Toronto Defiant, and LA Gladiators. So that's the left. That's the what is the APAC?
No, that's the
APAC.
NA. NA. The
Yeah,
Apex
NA.
that's
Yeah,
good.
So that's the NA side. So
I mean, that's your
let's
knockout
start
round. The
top.
top 4 seed, which are the 4 I mentioned earlier, get a bye
Yep.
through the opening round directly into quarterfinals.
So we got Atlanta
Question
and
actually.
Vancouver.
Shoot.
Sure.
So the other way, if you win like a match in the Countdown Cups Summer Showdown and you get 5,000,
Correct.
is that cash money unavailable for the other teams if they just get by for the first round?
Yeah.
Like they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're not winning a game. It's a bye week. I'd rather have a bye week than the 5K.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's a bit weird. If you're getting 5,000 per win, but you did well in seedings, so you don't get that 5,000. That's odd to me.
Yeah, but you get so much more for winning the finals.
Yeah, it's true. It's just weird because like if you.
I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like if like say Atlanta wins
Quarterfinal?
and then they beat San Fran doesn't get any money.
Yep.
I mean, are we sure about that?
Doesn't the quarterfinals get money?
No. If it's based on wins,
Yeah,
and
it's based on wins.
and then you get prize money from semifinals and finals onwards. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Semifinals and finals get money. Quarterfinals don't.
Anyway.
On
So-
Rutgers.
Anyways,
That's a bit
all
weird.
right. So Atlanta and Vancouver. I'm taking Atlanta 3-0.
Yeah, I think we all sort of have to. I mean,
It's-
Vancouver
yeah.
like show glimpses. They show glimpses, so
Mhm.
Vancouver have an opportunity, but yeah, no.
Yep.
No, I
3-0.
have to take Atlanta. I'm gonna take Atlanta 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, I'll take 3-1.
Yeah, okay.
as well.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, 3-1.
Giving Vancouver a little bit of hope there.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I will, because Atlanta is genuinely one of the sloppiest teams in all of Overwatch League.
You mean
I've
more than
n-
Valiant?
Yes. They just
What do you
have
mean that
they just have
beats
pop off
Atlanta
potential.
more is Atlanta?
I would say Atlanta makes more mistakes than Valiant. They just have more pop off potential to clutch even when they throw 6 ults at a fight.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, after we get done with this, let me tell you about what I witnessed today with the region revival. Oh shit!
Yeah, give us it afterwards. Give us.
Yeah, after.
And I've got some
Okay.
news too.
No, I'm interested because I haven't got a chance to watch it. I haven't got a chance to watch it.
It's fine. Let's continue. LA Valiant.
Who's
versus
smacking
Houston.
shit? Oh my god, what is that?
It was me. Sorry, I was moving stuff around.
I'm actually going to take Houston on this. I'm going to take Houston 3-2.
Ooh, that's bold.
Yeah, I'm
No.
taking Houston as well.
Actually, not
I'm gonna
really. Yeah,
fold him,
Valiant.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm a fold it. I'm gonna go with him. I can't believe I'm great with Knight Rider on something.
Yeah, boy!
I think
You
that's a
just made
coin.
his day.
That's a coin flip match. That is a
I say
straight
it goes to
coin
map
flip
5
match.
regardless.
If they play Dante, and if Meko can show up, then Houston will take it.
Mhm.
But that's a big if on both accounts. So,
Dallas and
Hold on,
Washington.
hey.
You're taking way too long.
I'm taking Valiant.
there you go.
3-1.
I'm sorry you're gonna be wrong.
We'll see.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Ocean is funny looking, Gino. Ocean is funny looking. But guess what, Gino? Since you won the contest, it's up to you to make this funny looking Ocean get an e-girl. It's up to you. So, I mean, that's
12 more days.
I
12
forgot
more
about
days.
that.
This is the.
I
boat
haven't. I've
you
been having
decided to
nightmares
get
about
in,
it.
And if it sinks, you're going down with it. Easy. he said.
Easy. Easy claps, Gino. I like it. I like the swagger. I like
That
it.
is the swag that we have come to love.
All right.
Fuel 3-1.
I'm gonna go with Bull Skunk.
I'm gonna go Frio.
Uh,
I know it's weak to say that on a week where the Fuels had a lot of turmoil. Washington Justice do have, some nice pieces. Arc,
Mhm.
Johnny, Stitch, and Tuba can pop off on Genji. So yeah, but Washington haven't looked good in ages. So we'll give the Fuel 3-0.
Fuel 3-1.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody's picking the Fuel.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll take
Toronto
Field there.
Defiant and LA Gladiators. I think this is the most interesting matchup between all of the first tier matches.
Poplin.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
See, I would have said Valiant and Outlaws.
I
but
think Valiant and
I mean,
Outlaws are as well.
because
Actually.
I think Glads wins this probably 3-0.
Yeah.
I'm going 3-0 as
Really?
well.
Yeah.
I'm going 3-0 as
I mean,
well.
Glad's
I was gonna.
Glads have been inconsistent, but that's better than being total shit, which is basically
to
where
Ryder's
Toronto
point,
is.
It's definitely really interesting.
Wow.
Ryder's
I mean,
point, I
it's
think it is very
it's not
interesting.
wrong.
I mean, I know.
And I love a lot of that. We talked about this last week. I love a lot of the individual pieces of Toronto, but damn, have they been awful.
Yeah.
I think Glad's take a 3-0 for sure.
Okay.
All right,
Can we
so
like try the bracket? Can we like move them forwards? Can we like do that?
No,
let's see.
no. That's what the whole bracket's for. We're not gonna do the predictions there. That's what the bracket's for.
Okay.
All right. Well, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
are we just stopping
you
our
gonna- why-
prediction
you
after the
know-
knockout round?
Yeah, let's go to the APAC region.
Yeah,
I wanna
that's what I'm
finish
saying, we'll
this.
APAC.
Yeah, I want to finish this bracket. I'm
Whoa,
invested
whoa,
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Then
we're gonna
all
make
gonna
our own
pick the same
brackets as
thing.
well.
Yeah, we gotta make our own brackets. Everybody's gonna pick the same thing if we go for it now.
Well, I think everybody's going to pick the 4 teams that are on the right-hand side anyway.
Actually, no.
Okay. So let's
Okay.
rephrase this question. Is there any team on this left-hand side that can create the upset? How about we go there?
Gladiators.
Gladiators, I'm taking it as
To,
well.
to upset Philly?
Yes.
They won't. It's not guaranteed they'll play Philly, right? It's not guaranteed they'll play Philly. Plus, they almost beat Philly a couple weeks back.
It was a 3-2,
Yeah,
if I remember
so-
correctly. They got
So
reverse
the people
swept.
who are lined up, the people, the,
Yeah,
the
they
teams
can still
who are
beat
lined
them.
up are not guaranteed to play against the teams
Hey,
that are
yeah.
directly.
No, they get their
Who's
choice.
my-
The top 4 people will get their choice of who
Yeah,
to
so
play
go-
of the
so
remaining teams.
Yeah, they'll probably play Florida. I think it'll be Gladiators
really don't-
Florida. And I mean,
No,
yes,
you
it's
know who
3-1
Florida
last
could
week.
want? Florida wants Houston.
Yeah, but they picked last. But they'll pick last. So they don't get a choice.
I'm
so, like,
sure they'll
Shock-
get Houston. I'm sure they'll
So
get Houston.
Shock will probably pick like either Atlanta or like Houston or
No,
maybe
they'll
probably
pick
Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, I'd figure Shock would pick Dallas.
And then
Especially with
Paris?
the recent news with them. Yeah.
But I think I
okay.
think Glads could take it to 4 or 2, and I mean, if Fusion picked them, then they'll probably lose to Fusion. But nah, I think Glads. I mean, they have the highest potential out of any of the teams on the left.
Yeah.
I agree with
Wait,
that.
so we're saying Glads. Wait, Glads would play. Well, I guess it depends on your bracket.
If whoever
I think-
Glads has the highest percentage out of these 8 teams to push onto semis.
Yeah, to make that upset run.
Yeah, if they play Florida or Paris, I could see it, but not if they play Fusion or Shock. And I actually think Fusion, or sorry, Toronto might be a better team than Fusion. I just don't see like in a matchup the Gladiators beating Fusion.
Yeah.
Hot,
Even though they were close a couple of times.
hot
In
take
my
it.
bracket-
I'm not so sure I agree with it, but the Plat Chat crew has Paris rated at number 1 right now.
No, you had the Shock and you did the Fusion. Here I go there, but like no Shock. You cannot say the Shock aren't number 1. They've lost one weekend, and that was a Hero Pool weekend.
Mm.
And to everyone's point, Glads in my bracket and probably most, if they win, are playing Paris, so they have a tough road here.
Yeah, it really depends on who selected. I think they could beat Florida as well. I know they lost to Florida last week, but they showed glimpses. So
Well, they wouldn't have a chance of playing Florida unless it's a format I'm not understanding.
Mhm.
They have no chance.
no,
of playing.
because Shock pick first,
Oh, they
then
pick.
Paris
Yeah,
pick.
they pick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Shock's gonna
Shock.
pick Dallas. Paris is gonna
That's
pick.
why I said Gladiators.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Paris will
I
probably
thought it was
pick
by seed.
Houston or Valiant, depending on who moves through on that one. Means
They might
Philly
even
has
pick
Atlanta or let's say Glads to choose from. I figure that Philly will probably pick Glads on that matchup.
You think they'll pick Glads over Atlanta?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Nah.
because Glads
think
have
they
been more
can.
inconsistent.
Yeah, if you catch Atlanta on a hot day, you're in trouble.
And they play similar styles. They're both so just like pop off, high pace, fast styles that I think that's more of a back and forth where I think Fusion will just stomp Gladiators.
No, because I think if you're playing Gladiators, you're opting into the Briggs End matchup, and that's not what Fusion have been best at recently.
That's a valid point.
All right, we're getting way off track.
Yeah,
here
we
now.
went down
Let's,
the rabbit
let's
hole.
move over to
I think
APAC.
Glad to play Florida.
Isn't that the point of talking about a bracket?
No, we're doing the bracket in
Oh,
the
I
off
want to
time
talk about
after this.
the bracket.
We're not talking about the
We
whole
can- we-
bracket. We were talking about the dark horse. But you can't just like, talk about the surface of it and then not give any icing. I mean,
that's the suspense.
it's a cake with no flavor.
There's some flavor in there, but it's lemon.
I was about to say the worst line that I think has ever come out of this podcast. I'm not sure if it's PG enough.
Okay, moving on.
All right,
Yeah.
anyways, okay, so obviously a lot less teams on the Apex side.
Where the hell is my APEC bracket?
I think you gotta slide all the way to the right.
Damn you.
Is it all the way to the right on yours,
I don't know.
Nope.
or is it down?
Oh, here it is. There's the tab. There we are.
Oh, toll?
All right. APAC region.
Sorry.
Okay, so we for the first matchup.
And this is a straight bracket. There's no picking here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charge and NYXL.
Uh,
I'm gonna go Charge.
Ooh.
I still think Charge are poised to win the whole thing.
Watch
See-
out for the bye, guys. I'm holding
See,
out
no,
hope that-
Yeah,
let me-
watch out
let
for
me-
them. They're a dark horse.
I will pick Charge. However, Charge did lose 3-0 to NYXL earlier in this exact session of matches. with
Yes.
Liverpool, though, right?
That was when
Yeah.
Orisa was banned, precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say Mono's a better racer than Rio. So
Yeah, but NYXL looks at their best when they can play dive, and most notably against another
he can
dive.
Still play dive. He can still play dive. And Rio's better at Winston as well, so they might chance their arm.
Have you been
But I'm
watching
not
the same
watching.
teams?
Yeah,
Apparently not.
Archer is so good at dive.
What's in
You
your
see Tom
tea?
Sawyer?
What's in your tea, Ethan?
Tom's good at Zarya, Rio's good at Winston, Shu's good at Zenyatta. Why wouldn't
Hopes
you
and
play dive?
dreams.
No, I know. I'm just saying, Charge are phenomenal. Like, I don't know.
I said Charge are good, but they also lost 3-0 to NYXL in this exact matchup.
But with hero pools,
I still said I was selecting the Charge.
you can't have it both ways, you thought waffle. Jesus.
I said I was picking Charge, however, NYXL
Wait.
have a chance.
What day is your birthday? Is it this week?
12 days.
No, it's-
No, it's 12 days. 12 days.
All
left.
right.
12 days.
Because I need to fly to
17.
fucking Northern Ireland and beat the shit out of you for that comment.
So Billy, I don't know if you heard it or not, but my daughter
what,
might be
saying that the
my
Charge
daughter
are-
might have
Charge
the same
are
birthday
dive?
as Ocean.
Wait, what? Oh
I said
no.
my daughter might have the same birthday as my.
Oh
as
no.
Ocean. Right?
It's not a bad thing. It's an
Oh,
awesome
no.
birthday.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Oh, man. No,
It'll be
I mean,
destiny.
honestly,
It'll be
Charge
destiny.
and YXL is the best matchup of the opening brackets,
say, yeah,
obviously.
I don't think it's arguable that it's going to be a damn good match.
Yeah, it will be a damn good match.
Mhm.
Spark versus Soul Dynasty. I'm gonna take Spark 3-0.
3-0 Spark.
Yep.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
argument.
I suppose. Yeah, I mean, there is argument. Spark have looked like absolute dog shit as well.
I don't know about soul level dog.
There haven't
Yeah,
been
no,
soul level dog shit. That's the truth. That's valid, sir. That's valid.
No, but Spark have a new head coach now, don't they? Push on from the Vancouver Titans last season.
There you go. So
Yeah.
looking up, and then they did get Architect relatively recently, who's looked strong for them in the couple games that I've seen. So
Yeah, and they're integrating their Chinese players and Coldest and Minko, like small.
Soul
bits,
hasn't
so
done
they got
anything
more-
positive since the May Melee.
I don't think Soul's done anything positive since they entered the league, man.
They've been pretty,
Whoa.
they've been pretty underwhelming.
That's pretty rough.
They haven't done anything positive until they were lunatic high. So
Well, that was like when someone put on Reddit or Twitter or something. They called what's his name, who was the big guy in Seoul? Ryo Jae Hong. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
Ryo Jae Hong's a bust, and everyone got butthurt. And I'm like, is he not the definition of a bust? Or do we need to reevaluate what that word means? Because he absolutely was a bust.
Yep. Rujahan, absolutely a bust.
I mean, the problem was he never he's an honor. He was he was really really good at honor. He was average at Zen, and he would play he played the Mercy to an acceptable standard. So, like.
I love Ryo Jaehoong
We
too.
were stuck in Zenyatta
Yeah, I
mode for
love them
so
too,
long,
but,
and he couldn't play Zenyatta to the available standard. Yes, when he came back on Honor, he was still pretty good, but then
Yeah,
we
he's
have people like
literally
Jonah,
just about-
Violet, like Jesus. So
definition of a bust.
yeah,
All right. Last and final matchup: Hunters versus Spitfire. I think
This-
I'm going to protect this is a tight one. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go Spitfire.
Spitfire.
We
I'm
haven't.
actually gonna Hunters then. I'll go Hunters then.
I'm going Hunters. Hunters have been
I'm
on a
going-
major uptick. And we
Yep.
didn't get to see him this past weekend. We don't know if that uptick is going to continue once we're back into the Orisa meta. And I'm not entirely jumping on the Hunters bandwagon here, but I will say they do have a little bit of momentum at their back. And Spitfire still don't seem to have their footing just yet. So I'm giving it to Hunters.
Spitfire lack an identity as a team.
Very much
Yes,
so.
you're correct.
Spitfire, they're just lost. They're just kind of drinking water 500 mark. Where whether or not they lose or not, they got the balls to go out there and do what they do every single week. And lightning has to strike every once in a while, and it has struck quite a few times for the Hunters. I take Hunters 3-1 over Spitfire.
Oh, I think they'll 3-0 them.
You think they're 3-0?
I think they'll 3-0 them.
Interesting.
3-1.
All right. Well, we'll have to see this weekend. All right, guys. I think that pretty
No,
much.
we can keep going for this bracket because it's right in front of us.
Oh,
No.
This one will be quick. This one will be quick.
Yeah. Yeah, we got like
All right, Charge
30 more
wins it
matches
all.
to pick.
Uh,
No, it's just Shanghai versus Charge, and I'm just gonna from a couple days
But
ago. we have-
Shanghai gets to pick who they face. It's
No,
not
they
gonna
don't.
happen.
No, this
No,
is
they
this,
don't.
this no, they don't. This
It's
is a real
bracket.
bracket.
Pure one. Yeah, this one's a real
Really?
This is a pure
Okay.
bracket. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
before
right.
you say that Charge will beat Shanghai, there's what happened earlier in the week when they played. This was with our hero bands and Chino Tutusu, so we had some goats in there, but it was majority. It was actually what they'd be playing.
Yeah, but that was a fun match.
Yeah, that was a show match.
That was a
I mean,
100% show match.
The point.
Cool.
That makes
Show
that makes
match.
Scrimbucks look valuable.
Okay, so let me also get a picture of the league standings right now.
Wait,
Real
why don't we
quick.
go to the last time these two played each other when it mattered?
Yeah, cool. It's mattered all season. How many times has Shanghai played Guangzhou Charge this season? They've lost once.
Who won the summer showdown?
Guangzhou, well done you. You won one fucking tournament. Won one tournament. Shanghai.
The
won-
last tournament, the most recent tournament.
Yeah, and you still you survived a soul last week.
Guangzhou
Nah,
takes it.
Shanghai
Guangzhou
over
takes it.
Shanghai over
Guangzhou takes
Nah,
it.
dog.
Yep. Charge
I
takes the
swear
whole
to God,
thing.
when you had that razor on your head, you must have lost a piece of your brain if you're saying
Okay, so
Guangzhou
Charge
beat
beat
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
If Shanghai wins, I'll shave my head. Wait, damn it.
Okay, so
Shave
here's
your
here's,
eyebrows
okay,
if
here's my
Shanghai
question.
wins. I'll do the same.
Charge goes to finals. Who are they playing against? Spark or Spitfire?
Does it matter?
Parker Hunters.
Spark.
I think Spark will go through.
I think regardless to it doesn't. I don't think it matters. I think whoever comes
Yeah.
out of the top, whether it's Dragons or Charge, I think.
Wait,
wins.
I
We'll
have
win
a
it all.
question, though.
Exactly.
I have a question. Has Hunters managed to get number 2 seed?
Yeah. Hunters were number 1 seed before this last weekend.
Yeah.
The bad comp.
And that's only because they didn't win, or they didn't play.
Yeah.
Hunters
That's
haven't lost.
good.
Hunters haven't lost in Countdown Cup yet.
Yeah, and they still didn't have bigger, as bad as or good as differential. Sorry, as Shanghai, because Shanghai are the best team in APAC. Probably the best team in the league.
Can we pick our just winner of NA? Now, I know we can't go through the whole bracket, but can we pick our winners for NA?
Shock.
Oh,
Paris.
I'm gonna
Paris.
Paris.
I'll go Fusion. I'll stick to my hometown.
Ooh, okay, I like it. I like it.
love the commitment.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm gonna commit to Fusion. I just
Respect.
think they're a really solid foundational team, and like I don't get if they get 3-0, I'm not gonna come back next week and be like, damn, I didn't see that coming. But I think they have
Yeah.
a really because if Paris, the thing is, if Paris or Shock get hot, I don't think Fusion stands a chance. But if they're having just average days, Fusion will grind them out. So I'll take Fusion.
Mhm.
I'll stick with them.
I mean,
Fusion are incredible in map 5s, so if they can bang in the map 5s.
okay,
then
here's my
English
problem
ones-
with the
Exactly,
Shock is
exactly.
they're struggling right now with their 6th player. They literally put their tank player on DPS.
They have options. They have so many options. They
Yeah,
got
I'm
Tango,
almost
Striker,
inclined.
on
I'm almost inclined to
Rascal.
say they have a good problem right now.
It is a good problem, but it's a problem that Paris doesn't have. It's a problem the Fusion don't have.
That's also true. Yeah,
It's
that
not
is
a
also true.
problem. It's like, okay, which of the 10 best players in the world do we want to field today? That's not a problem. That's like, oh, okay, that's pretty
It
sick.
does eventually become a problem.
No, it's a
I don't think
problem.
it is a
When you have to put
problem.
your
It's
main
not a
tank
problem.
player on DPS because you have nobody else to
They
fill
don't
the
have
slot,
to. It's an option. They don't have to. It's an option.
they have nobody else that
Rascal
play
don't
Genji
work out.
as well as their Reinhardt player.
They're Rascal. Rascal could play Genji as well. They have options. That's what it is. You don't go, you know what? You don't go, oh, you know what? Here's the best 2 Genji players in the world. Do you want them? And then you go, oh, no, I only have one. No, you take both of them.
If they were so confident in Rascal's Genji, they wouldn't have hired a rookie.
Mhm.
They need extra
There
depth. They need
is
extra
proof.
depth. They need extra depth. They
I'll
have
be
5
curious to
DPS
see how
players.
they play. This
They had
tournament's
5
gonna be really
DPS players at
indicative.
the start of the year. They lost an Archer. They lost Architect. They need extra depth. That's why they picked up Teo.
Now, are we playing on 1.50.1?
No, I think this is a new patch. I don't think there's Genji.
That's my question. Is Genji
I don't-
nerfed for this weekend?
I
I
don't
think
see.
so.
There's nothing in the rules talking about what patch, so I'm guessing it's probably up to date.
If it's,
Yeah.
they're usually behind. They're usually 2 weeks behind when the patches drop. That's normal for Overwatch League this year.
Yeah, I wonder with the timing of the world right now, if they're gonna just.
Because it would
Yeah.
it would make sense to me for them to go ahead and play on the new patch.
I mean, is it past the pro on the new
It's
patch?
also because
No.
they
No.
were scheduled.
Trials
I think
this
we were
week.
sched-
Trials this week has the buff Genji.
Yep.
Oh, then
Okay.
okay, then it's more up in the air than I would have thought. Okay.
But Genji is still getting a lot of value.
He's still buffed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's still.
Yeah.
He's still.
Nah.
He's still doing 30
No.
damage per shuriken. He's
The
still
shot or-
buffed.
Yeah.
in
shop
competitive play.
Okay.
So no, I was just it does matter on what patch they're going to play on.
No, it does. No, it does. It does.
Because
I
if
was-
Genji's
I thought-
nerfed, I think Shock's chances go up.
Mm-hmm.
and I think fusions go up too.
I think fusions go up as well, and Paris actually looks a little bit weaker.
Yeah, they take a little bit of a hit.
A little bit of a hit.
I still take right now, based upon what we saw in the summer showdown. I still take XC over Fleta.
Flat as Shanghai.
Not
No.
a Shanghai man.
Yeah, I'm
Sparkle?
sorry. No, that would be EQO versus Sparkle. Who's the other DPS?
For
Okay,
Philly, it'd be Hisu.
Yeah, he's.
He-
Yeah, I'll
Nah.
take. I mean, does Hisu take XC? That's the
It
question.
depends what hero though. If they force XE onto Sombra, then Hisu's gonna win that because Hisu's probably the best Sombra in the league right now. Probably.
I'll give
He's
you
cool.
that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean,
Do
no
we
one
see
else
Actus
comes
come
to mind.
out then?
Because Sparkle's played the better Doomfist, so that'll be that'd be really
That
fun.
would be very interesting because we saw what Sparkle did just on the spring, just on the tournament dime. They needed it on King's Row. Sparkle brings out the Doomfist and immediately gets a triple.
Right. So what we're gonna see is what you're telling me is we're gonna see Hisu and Chipsa versus Sparkle and Zexy.
All right, on that note, we're closing it down.
Alrighty,
That's
guys.
it. We're done.
See you next week.
Tuning in if you guys check out the chat. There we go. Please check
That was not a
out
professional take, by the way. I did not want to see Chipsa in the series.
.co. Use the code stream console, all one word, caps. And check out nonamenerd.com. And please check out DMC. He does our music. We got to fix our intro still. Cough, cough. And check out his SoundCloud at DJDMCCC. And next week, we will be discussing our brackets. And hopefully we will have a special guest, Panther.
Yeah, let me put down my newspaper and I'll fix our graphics.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Knight Rider, joined by always the fabulous Ocean, Paul, and Bull Skunk. And Billy!
Hi.
And Billy.
Thanks for joining us, Billy.
Bye.
And thank you, friends at home. Love y'all.
Love all of you.
Okay.
So just
Alright, I gotta
quick.
go. I gotta get into this.